Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to convert a photo album into an ephemera holder. So I showed these bags on Merry Monday for Twisted Paper Studios, and I had some leftover ephemera, and I'm going to be doing Merry Mondays, and so I wanted to create an ephemera holder for all of my Twisted Paper Studios Christmas ephemera. So here is my pile of leftovers. You guys know how it is. You go through all the time of fussy cutting all of these goodies and you don't want them getting lost, damaged, whatever. So I'm going to show you how to take a photo album and turn it into an ephemera holder. Now, lots of junk journalers have beautiful ephemera holders that they make with like vellum and stuff like that, but I've never just really invested the time to do that. So the project I'm going to show you today is very fast. I'm going to show you the project without ideal materials. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to have to cut down some of my plastic sheets to get sizes that I wanted. And I'm going to have to like franken them back together. And so if you already are starting with a photo album that has the pocket sizes that you want, then you will be able to cut out certain steps that I'm sharing. But maybe you're like me and you don't have photo albums with the perfect pockets, so you're going to have to create them. What I'm going to show you is not like perfect or beautiful, but it's very functional, and I know it's going to help work. So this is an Echo Park photo album that I had in my stash. So first of all, I'm going to start with what I have at home. And these are the sheets that came with it. It came with 10 sheets that are 6x8, which is great, except for, or they might be 6x9. Sorry, I think these are 6x9. It doesn't really matter. But I wanted some that were smaller too to hold those smaller ephemera pieces. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to cut these sheets in half. Now, it's never a great idea when you're cutting slippery plastic to cut all four at one time. You're going to want to cut them sheet by sheet. And the bottom part of the sheet is still going to be sealed. Wonderful. The top part of the sheet is not. So I will tell you that I'm going to be using my sewing machine today. You could probably use glue or staples or whatever you want. A lot of these journals, or not journals, but photo albums are sold with different sized sheets. So, you may be even able to acquire the sheets that you want. But now I have these 4x6 sheets. And what I did is I took it to my sewing machine and I just made sure that that top portion that I cut off is sealed at the bottom. So I only had to stitch a semi-straight line across that bottom edge there. And then now I have a top pocket and a bottom pocket. Now I knew this was not going to be enough, that this wasn't going to work by itself. I do technically have two, pockets, one on the top and one on the bottom now, but these are going to shift like crazy if I just leave it cut apart there, okay, there on that spine. So I know this is not going to work for me. So I'm going to measure it, and I'm just trying to determine, can I use my scraps? And I want to show you why this won't work. See, your pages would be going all over the place and your ephemera would be flying out. And we don't want that. That would be so frustrating, right? So I make a lot of 5x7 cards. And because of that, and I cut my own card bases, I have these scraps left over. First of all, they're very heavy duty cardstock. It's like 110 high GSM cardstock that I use for my bases. And so I just grab my scraps and I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and basically franken these pages back together into one sheet. Okay, so now I have them sewn back together again. And I'm just going to trim off the excess here because my scrap was bigger than I needed. You could pick Christmas paper for this part. You may not have to do this part. But look, I think it's important, like, to show you ways to work around not having what everybody else has and not having, maybe you don't have the perfect materials, but you just have to make it work. I'm with you. I understand. Me too. I can't buy everything. And I wasn't going to just go out and buy. I know the sheets are out there. I know they're available, but I was going to just make this work, right? And that's what I want to show you, is that kind of ingenuity on this channel. So I went back to my sewing machine and I sewed all my papers. So now I have this very sturdy, they are separated there, and you could go a step further and connect them, but this is good enough for me. This makes me happy. And now I have 6 sheets that are full-sized in the back, and then I have these 4 that make 8 pockets in the front. And these are going to hold these smaller pieces so beautifully, except for this is some slippery plastic, okay? So look, you don't have to, but I suggest that you then go to this next step of securing your ephemera within these pockets. Okay, so I'm just grabbing some nice cardstock patterned paper from my stash. This is a really old paper pad from Hobby Lobby. It's called Haberdashery. It's years old. I don't know if they still make it. Can't tell you. It really doesn't matter. Grab any paper that you have or want to use. I kind of wanted a really neutral pattern so that my ephemera would stand out to me. And I have made these albums before, which I'm going to show you another version here in a minute. And I've been using my photo ephemera albums now for almost 2 years, and I love it. Absolutely love it. What I'm doing right now is taking this 12 by 12 paper. For the pockets that are 4 by 6, I'm cutting it down to 6 by 6. The other full page pockets, I am just cutting at 6 inches. So I have 6 of these that are 12 by 6, and I'm going to have these pages that are 6 by 6. Obviously, you could use 6 by 6 patterned paper if you have a bunch of those pads, but I wanted all my paper to go together. I wanted it all coordinated. I can get that word out, but I wanted all of my paper to be coordinated. So here's my paper, and let me just show you how simple this is, okay? So for the 6 by 6 sheets that are gonna go in the 4 by 6 pockets, all I'm gonna do is score them at 2 inches. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute, but here is the folder I've been using for quite some time. And what I did with this one was already made to have 4 by 6 pockets. I put patterned paper in there, and then I adhered these flaps on with double-sided tape. So far it's holding up, but Texas is incredibly humid. I live in South Texas, and it's insanely humid here. So double-sided tape, it holds sometimes. Okay, but here is the instruction that is much easier than my older version. I'm going to score this at 2 inches. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a flap. I'm creating this as a way to catch the ephemera and to keep it from sliding out of those pockets. And what I'm doing here is basically creating an insert. Okay, so I'm going to insert this into those photo pockets. That flap is going to come up over the front of the plastic, and it's going to keep the ephemera in the pocket to keep it from sliding out. Okay, so I'm going to do this for all of my 4x6s. Let's say that you're the crafty girl or guy that has 3x4 pockets. Then cut it down to fit those pockets. Okay, see, I mean, this would drive me nuts if I didn't do something. But let me show you how simple this is. That right there with a paper clip on top, any paper clip will do, and I'm going to show you that here, will lock your ephemera into place. It's so nice because it's clear, you can see through it, so I'm going to know that all of that in the top pocket are my deers and then my labels, and you know, I'm going to be able to actually, I'm going to come back and label the tops of this flap that I'm paper clipping down right now. I'm going to come back and label it. It's going to say like Sweet Candy Christmas or Christmas tags, whatever Donna has named her kits that I'm using and putting in these pockets. Then I can just label that little thing and be all organized. So yeah, this is so easy and so wonderful. If you have a lot of ephemera, if you're a card maker even, and you just have a ton of ephemera and it's taking up a bunch of space, this is definitely a way to tame it all into one place. So now these pockets here are, I believe that they're a little taller than 8 inches. Because my 8.5 by 11 paper fits in here, which I'm going to show you. I kept these pockets full size, and look, I'm just grabbing any paper clip that I have. I didn't have a bunch of matching paper clips when I was doing this video, which is kind of perfect because then you know anything you have, big or small, you know, skinny or chubby, any paper clip is going to do just fine. But yeah, these will hold a folded 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which I love that because I'm going to need a place to store my 8.5 by 11 paper as well as my ephemera. Or if I just have larger tags, if I make ephemera, like if I do mass making and make ephemera, I can also store it in those pockets. So I needed 2 more sheets of paper. So I cut up this gorgeous paper here, these roses, and I'm just going to fit that and put that in there and add it to the mix. I just think this album now is so beautiful. And I love that it's, you know, my Merry Monday stuff is going to be in this Christmas album. I just think that is so fun. So yay. Yay for that. Oh, it's just really fun, you guys. So let me show you an 8.5 by 11 folded in half, you know, on the 11-inch side. So now this is 8.5 by 5.5. Fits in here perfectly. Isn't that great? Yay! I hope you guys enjoy this project. I hope you give it a try. I mean, it really is a quick and easy way to convert a photo album into an ephemera holder. Nothing falls out of here. Everything is really secure, and that makes me happy. Now I get to label the outside Merry Monday. Again, here is the older version where these flaps are taped on. This top edge is folded over and taped on the back. And then the front edge is taped right there at the base of the top pocket. And it just folds over the bottom pocket. So, you know, there's lots of ways to make this work. I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely see you back here another time when we'll be using all of these fun things, making beautiful cards and journals and who knows what. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.